Hello everyone, welcome to PUC Biology Practical. In this practical, we are going to studying about bacteria, fungi and plants. Yes, the first one is bacteria. Yes, bacteria comes under the kingdom Monera. And the division is Eubacteria. Yes, in the right side you can observe the picture of bacteria. The picture of bacteria, see the bacteria is a unicellular and each bacteria has cell wall but absence of membrane bound cell organelles. Yes, in the picture you can observe inside the bacterial cells there is no any membrane bound organelles, cell organelles, and presence of flagella and cilia which stands for movement of bacteria. And the bacteria exhibits different shapes. Example, spherical shape. Example, coccus. Spherical shapes. Example, coccus. And rod shaped. Example, bacillus. Example, bacillus. Yes, the bacteria is a unicellular and each bacteria has a cell wall but absence of membrane bound cell organelles and presence of flagella and cilia which is cells for movement of bacteria, and the bacteria exhibit different shapes like a spherical, example coccus, and rod shaped, example bacillus. The next one is oscillatoria. Oscillatoria. This also comes under the kingdom Monera and division Cyanophyta and class Cyanophyceae. So the oscillatoria comes under the kingdom Monera, division Cyanophyta, and a class Cyanophyceae. See, oscillatoria is a genus of blue-green algae. Blue-green algae, and commonly found in fresh water. In the right side you can observe the picture of oscillatoria. Okay, it's a genus of blue-green algae commonly found in fresh water. Here the thallus, the body is multicellular and unbranched and filamentous. Yes, filamentous, which means a elongated filamentous, which means a elongated thin series of cells attached to one another. So this is called filamentous, and each cell has definite cell walls and it shows oscillatory movement in fresh specimen. So these are all about oscillatoria. Oscillatoria is a genus of blue-green alga commonly found in fresh water, and the thallus is multicellular, unbranched, filamentous, and each cell has a definite cell walls and it shows oscillatory movement in fresh specimen. Yes, the next one is Spirogyra. Spirogyra comes under kingdom Plantae, and division Chlorophyta, and class Chlorophyceae, Spirogyra is a green alga and unbranched and filamentous and slimy, found in stagnant water. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ನಿಂತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೆರೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರು ನಿಂತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಥ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಕಂಡುಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೈರೋಗೈರಾ. Okay, Spirogyra is a green alga, unbranched and filamentous and slimy to found in stagnant water. And the Spirogyra shows cylindrical cells. Yes, in the right side you can observe each cells are cylindrical, arranged one near another, and each cell shows spirally arranged chloroplast. Yes, in the picture you can observe the chloroplast are spirally arranged. Spirally arranged. And in between the chloroplast, presence of a spherical protein structure that is called pyrenoids. Pyrenoids. Yes, this is all about Spirogyra. Spirogyra comes under kingdom Plantae, divisions Chlorophyta, class Chlorophyceae. Okay, it is a green alga and unbranched and filamentous and slimy to found in stagnant water, and the cells are cylindrical, arranged one above the another, and the cells shows spirally arranged chloroplast. In between the chloroplast, presence of a spherical protein structure that is called pyrenoids. Next one is Rhizopus. Rhizopus comes under kingdom Mycota. And division Eumycota. And class Zygomycetes. Class Zygo. In the right side, you can observe the picture of Rhizopus. The Rhizopus are commonly called as bread molds. Bread molds. Yes, the fungal body is called mycelium. The thallus shows an interwoven mass of hyphae that is called mycelium. See, in Rhizopus, we can observe two types of hyphae. One is stoloniferous hyphae and rhizoidal hyphae. Yes, one is stoloniferous hyphae, and rhizoidal hyphae. Yes, the stoloniferous hyphae which grows parallel to the surface, and the rhizoidal hyphae which grows vertically. And the rhizoidal hyphae shows vertical sporangiospore. Sporangiophores. Okay, so in the picture of Rhizopus, you can observe from the rhizoidal hyphae, a number of sporangiospores arises. Each sporangiospore bears sporangium. So this is called sporangium. Here also we can observe the sporangium. Okay, inside the sporangium, presence of numbers of spores. So this is called spores. And these spores are cover a capsule or a dome-shaped like structure that is called columella. Yes, Rhizopus commonly called as bread mold, and the thallus shows interwoven mass of hyphae that is called mycelium. And there are two types of hyphae. One is stoloniferous hyphae, another one is rhizoidal hyphae. The stoloniferous hyphae which grows parallel to the surface, and the rhizoidal hyphae which grows vertically, and it bears number of sporangiophores, and each sporangiospore bears sporangium. Inside the sporangium, presence of numbers of spores. The spores cover a capsule or dome-shaped like structure that is called columella. This is all about Rhizopus. The next one is Agaricus or mushroom. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಣಬೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಯಿ ಕೊಡೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, Agaricus is also comes under the kingdom Mycota, and the division is Basidiomycota, and the class is Basidiomycetes. Yes, kingdom Mycota, division Basidiomycota, and classes Basidiomycetes. Yes, in the right side, we can observe the picture of mushroom or Agaricus. See, it is a fungus, it is a saprophytic fungus, saprophyte, which means it's growing, the fungus growing dead and decaying organic matter. That is called saprophytes. So, mushroom or Agaricus is a saprophytic fungi and it shows colorless hyphae. And produce the fruiting body that is called basidiocarp. See, this is the fruiting body, so this is called basidiocarp. The basidiocarp shows three parts. One is stipe, annulus and pileus. The matured basidiocarp shows a stipe or is also called stalk and presence of a ring-like structure found on the stipe or stalk that is called annulus. Yes, above the stalk we can observe presence of a ring-like structure that is called annulus and next to the stalk presence of a umbrella-like structure that is called pileus. So these are all about Agaricus and mushroom. Yes, the next one is Saccharomycetes, commonly called as yeast. It comes under kingdom Mycota and division Eumycota and class Saccharomycetes. Yes, dear students, we know about yeast used in bakery products. And the yeast is a unicellular fungus. Yes, in the right side we can observe the picture of yeast is a unicellular and colorless, which is spherical or oval and in the form of chain helping in propagation. And presence of single large vacuole and single nucleus. These are all about yeast. Yeast is a unicellular, colorless, spherical or oval or in the form of chain helps in propagation and presence of single large vacuole and single nucleus. The next one is lichens. Lichens are the combination of both the fungi and algae. Based on attachment and general growth, the lichens are three types. One is crustose, foliase and fructicose. So these are all types of lichens based on attachment and general growth. The first one is crustose. Yes, in the right side we can observe the picture of crustose lichen. Yes, the crustose lichen is the thallus is thin and flattened without lobes. There is no any lobes in the lichens and attached to substratum by its lower surface. Attached to substratum, which means supporting object. Attached to substratum by its lower surface. And the next one is foliase. Foliase is a leafy lichen and flat lobed horizontally spread thalli attached to substratum by the help of rhizoids. Yes, in the right side we can observe the picture of leafy lichens. It is a thin, flattened and presence of lobes horizontally spread thalli which is attached to substratum by the help of rhizoids. The next one is fructicose. Fructicose is a shrubby lichen. See here the lichens grows upright and attached to substratum by the help of disc-like structure. So in the right side, we can observe the picture of fruticose lichen. Okay, it shows upright growing thallus and branched thallus. Okay, and this thallus is attached to substratum by the help of disc-like structure. So these are all about types of lichens. Yes, the next one is Markensia, liverworts. It comes under the kingdom Plantae, division Bryophyta, class Hepaticopsida. Yes, in the right side we can observe the picture of Markensia. See, the Markensia is a thin, flattened and dichotomously branched and presence of dark median furrows. And on the dorsal side, on the upper side, presence of gemma cups. The gemma cups present on the dorsal side, which helps in vegetative propagation. And on ventral side, lower side, presence of rhizoids, which helps to fix the substratum, which means supporting object. And reproduction through archegoniophore, which is produce the female sex organ, that is called archegonia. The archegoniophore produce female sex organ, that is called archegonia. And the anthradiophore produce male sex organ, that is called anthradia. Yes, this is all about Markensia. So Markensia, thallus is flattened and dichotomously lobed with dark median furrows, and on the dorsal side, presence of gemma cups, it will produce the number of gemmas, helps in vegetative propagation. And during reproduction, the archegoniophore produce the female sex organ, that is called archegonia. And the anthradiophore release the male sex organ, that is called anthradia. Yes, in the right side, we can observe the picture of both anthradia and archegonia. Veneria, it also comes under kingdom Plantae and division Bryophyta and class Bryopsida. Yes, in the right side, we can observe the picture of Veneria. Yes, the thallus is upright and bears a small leaf-like structure without midrib, which means absence of midrib. And the whole thallus is fixed to the substratum by the help of rhizoids. And the reproductive organs born on same thalli but different branches, such as anthradia and archegonia. Anthradia is a male sex organ and archegonia is a female sex organ. And the mature female branch of the plant consists a single capsule. That single capsule is raised by a long stalk. That long stalk is called seta. And a foot is embedded in gametophyte. The next one is Rayopterys. Yes, it also comes under kingdom Plantae and division Pteridophyta, and the class is Helicopsida. Yes, in the right side, we can observe the picture of fern plants, that is called Rhizopterys. So a fern with a subterranean rhizome is covered with scale leaves, and presence of aerial shoot, it has compound leaves. So that is called fronds. And presence of young leaves. So this young leaves shows circinate venation. Yes, in the picture we can observe circinate venation shown by young leaves. And presence of brown heads, that is called ramenta. It's called ramenta. And the midrib of compound leaf shows leaflets on either side, and each leaflet has sorus with sporangia. So this sporangia release number of spores. So this sorus present on ventral side of the frond. Here the fronds with subterranean rhizome covered with scale leaves, and aerial shoot shows compound leaves is called fronds, and the young leaf shows cercinate venation and presence of brown heads, that is called ramenta, and the midrib shows leaflets, and below the leaflets, which means ventral side of the leaflets, presence of sorus with the sporangia. The sporangia release number of spores. Is Pinus, gymnosperms. Yes, this comes under kingdom Plantae. Division: gymnosperms, and class Coniferapsida. Yes, the finus comes under gymnosperms, kingdom Plantae, and the class is Coniferapsida because the tree is cone shaped. Okay, so in the right side we can observe the picture of pinus, which is cone shaped and presence of hoody stem, and the pinus tree shows two types of branches. One is branches of limited growth and branches of unlimited growth, but both branches of limited growth and unlimited growth shows scaly leaves. Yes. The reproductive organs, both male and female cones born on same plant, and in the picture we can observe the both male and female cone. The male cone have large cluster of microsporophylls with two pollen sac, and inside the pollen sac presence of pollen grains, and female cone have megasporophylls with bracted scale and ovuliferous scale with two ovules on ventral side. These are all about finus. So finus is a cone shaped hoody stem, and it shows two types of branches of limited growth and branches of unlimited growth, both showing scaly leaves, and the reproductive organs, both male cone and female cone born on same plant. The male cone have large clusters of microsporophylls and with two pollen sacs. Inside the pollen sac presence of pollen grains, and the female cone have megasporophyll with bracted scale and ovuliferous scale having two ovules on ventral side. The next one is Dicotyledonous plant. Yes, it comes under the kingdom Plantae, division Angiospermae, class Dicotyledonous. Yes, in the right side we can observe the picture of Dicotyledonous plant. It shows a taproot system, which means primary, secondary and tertiary, and presence of simple or compound leaves with reticulate venation. And the inflorescence is, the flower is tetramerous, which means presence of 4 sepals and 4 petals, or pentamerous, 5 sepals or 5 petals, and the inflorescence is solitary, which means presence of single flower, or clusters forming a inflorescence. And the reproductive organs, stamens with anthers and carpels with ovules. So these are all about dicotyledonous plants. It shows a taproot system, presence of simple or compound leaf with reticulate venation, and the flower is tetramerous or pentamerous, and presence of solitary, which means single flowers, and cluster forming inflorescence, and the reproductive organs, stamens with anthers and the carpels with ovules, and presence of the seed. The seed is 2 cotyledons. The seed is 2 cotyledons. Examples for dicotyledonous plant: hibiscus, pea, groundnut. Hibiscus, pea, groundnut. The next one is monocotyledonous plant. Yes, see, it also comes under the kingdom Plantae. And the division is angiospermae, and the class is Monocotyledonous. Yes, in the right side we can observe the picture of monocotyledonous plant. Yes, here the root system is fibrous root system, absence of secondary and tertiary roots, and presence of simple or compound leaves. It shows parallel venation. Like this. And the flower is trimerous. Which means 3 petals and the 3 sepals. And the cotyledon is 1. In seed, the cotyledon is 1 cotyledon. Yes, example for monocotyledons: wheat, paddy, and maize. So these are all example for monocotyledonous plant: wheat, paddy, and maize. So monocotyledons shows fibrous root system, and the leaves are simple or compound. It shows parallel venation, and the flower is trimerous, and the seed contain single cotyledon. And example for monocotyledons: wheat, paddy, and maize. Yes, dear students, in this practical we studied about bacteria, Oscillatoria, Spirogyra, Rhizopus, Agaricus, Saccharomyces, yeast, Lichens, Markentia, and Veneria, and Rayopterys, Pinus, dicotyledonous plants, and monocotyledonous plants. Thank you.